Well, hi, everybody. You may recognize the location because each and every year we come visit this very special man, Mr. Eric Boller of Jans Rennstall. This year, we're a little bit later in the season. Usually we're frothing and ready to get out for first tracks. This time around,
we've already frothed. We've made first tracks. Now we just do a little maintenance.
How you doing, buddy?
Awesome. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I'm so glad you got your phone back.
Yeah, great. I am, too, actually.
So we're going to talk about snowboards, and we're going to talk about mid-season this year.
Yeah, mid-season maintenance, checking your edges, checking your bases, make sure they're not dry, and also just going through your bindings, making sure there's nothing broken or loose.
All snowboards all the time.
All snowboards all the time, baby.
I'm liking the theme this year.
We're trying.
Should we do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, then.
Cool.
So you tuned up early in the season.
Yep.
You've been shredding a bunch. Yeah. Here we are. Conditions are changing. Take us through it.
Yeah, rapidly. We're finally back to kind of where we were last year. Warm, groomers, the snow's kind of set up. A lot of the kids in the park have actually beat the boards up. So what we're going to do is you look at your board, make sure that it's not too dry. You can see some of these white sections on this particular board saying that the wax is gone and there's no wax in the board. It's super dry. We also then just run our fingers along the edges to make sure there's no real edge dings, no spots with broken edges from some of these rails. Sure. And then we move on to, the waxing and maybe a deburr on the edges. And
should folks be checking this multiple times per season and not wait till halfway through, especially if you're in the park a bunch?
Yeah. If you're an avid rider, you should be checking pretty much every other time out. If not, every 7 to 10 times out.
We don't always necessarily talk about service and maintenance of bindings, but certainly just as important as a point of contact for your body with the board.
Yeah, and especially for how many screws and bolts and nuts and cables that a binding actually does have. You just want to go through and make sure everything's tight, that you're not going to have anything falling apart on you on hill. And this is something that can take 30 seconds in your garage.
You mean before I go shred?
Yeah. Definitely, because if you're an avid boarder, you want to be able to know that your stuff is good every single time. Don't know that unless you check it.
No doubt about it. Let's talk specifically about waxing.
Okay, waxing. When you're waxing, you just want to make sure that your base is nice and clean. You distribute the wax all the way across, and also one smooth stroke with the iron gives it nice and an easy heating. Also allows you to scrape it a lot easier. And also you're able to look at your edges when you do this to see if there's anything that's wrong with the edges. And if there is, then you bring them to us.
For folks who don't have a ton of experience doing this and are wanting to do it, instead of coming to Rennstall, talk a little bit about what wax's function is, not a layer, but filling.
Okay, so with wax, what that does, it does fill in a couple of the nooks and crannies, but it does allow the base to be just like skin. It accepts more wax, makes the base smoother, doesn't get as hairy, and does run a lot faster.
And you'll always tell the first time you take your board back out how fast it is.
Oh yeah, it's so smooth. Oh, it gives me goosebumps.
So talk a little bit about edges, because perhaps more than any other category in maintenance, why you guys are here and the tools that you have.
Yeah, especially with a snowboard, since you only have 2 edges, either got your toe edge or your heel edge, you're going to beat those up a lot more. You can tell a good edge from a bad edge. A bad edge is going to have a lot of burring, going to feel round. Maybe like this one also have some rust, and you'll see some rock damage going across from base to edge. You look on a nice edge, you can feel smooth, you can feel it sharp, and every single time you can pull fingernail with a sharp edge. You can definitely do it yourself with a file and a file guide, but you can definitely do more damage than good. You can bring it to us, get a factory finish edge with a couple of the machines we have, or we also do a lot of the edging by hand if that's what the ski demands. But definitely getting it back to factory edge is smooth, easy, and it's sharp.
And in the case of best quality to be going through this process, trust the professionals, huh?
Yeah. So if you want to get a professionally done edge, you bring it right here to Rennstall at the base of Park City Mountain Resort. We're open at 7 o'clock till whenever my guys leave at night.
And you guys do overnight service.
Yeah, everything we do right now is overnight service. Don't have enough room to just hang on to stuff. Plus, you want to probably use it tomorrow anyway.
You're excited. You want to get back out with the fresh edges. Fresh
exactly, and go as fast as possible.
Eric Boller, thank you so much.
Thanks,
it's
man.
always good to see you,
good
man.
to see you too. Thank you.